Oh, hi there, and welcome back to Minecraft. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to make automatic honey farms. If you watched my previous video, you'd know that we had a little play around with the bees previously, and we found a way to kind of automate it. But I've spent some time trying to work on that, make it a bit better, and just make it the best it can possibly be. Now, don't worry if you didn't see the last one, because, well, you can catch up in the top corner now, or I will go through all the important stuff in this video too. So the first and most important thing you're going to need when making your honey farm is one of these things. So as you probably know, this is a bee nest. Now these spawn randomly in the world, and from my experience, and I've spent a bit of time today looking, they're actually very common, so they're not hard to get. But if you just break it with your fist, you won't get it. So you probably already know that if you get a diamond, well, if you get a silk touch tool, you can break it and collect it. But that makes them all angry. So make sure you're ready to run, because they're going to keep coming for you. They will get bored after a while, so don't worry about it. It takes about 30 seconds, and then they'll just go back to being peaceful. But you really don't want them to sting you, because that will kill them. So best just stay away, and then everyone's safe. So for those of you who don't know, each of these bees only have one sting in them. So once they've used that on you, they will eventually go off and die. Basically, the little stinger will come off from their bum, and then after a short period of time, they'll just go and die in the wild. And that's no use to anyone, because you're going to need them to, well, to pollinate the flowers in your farm. So easy to do that. If you just put some flowers in your offhand, all the little bees will come towards you, and they will be, I mean, they'll follow you. That's one way of doing it. But you can also stick them on leads. So you can just do like that, and that, and that, and you can just carry them wherever you want. So that is how you can get your obviously your bees and your bee nests. Once you do that, we can start working on the farm. Oh, one other thing as well. If you tried to collect honey directly from here as yourself, you're going to really annoy all the bees. So you don't want to do that. Instead, what we discovered in my last video is if you have a dispenser there with glass bottles and you activate it, it will that would actually harvest the honey for you without upsetting the bees. So you're safe to do it. So yeah, that's the way you want to do it. But what this basically led on to was the fact that we could set up an automatic system. So we could have an observer facing this way. We could have obviously the bee nest in the middle, and then we have the dispenser there. Now, obviously, that do the same thing. And as soon as that state changes, which it's not going to now because we've already done it, that should automatically send it through. So that is where we left off the previous video. But, like I say, I've been working a little bit more, and I want to show you how this actually works. Now, I know lots of other people have already made designs for this, such as DocM or Umango, but I honestly think that they overcomplicated it. So I've done it, based it on that sort of format. I've done it basically like this, which is very similar, but also very different and very easy. So it's basically, you've obviously got a bit of land where the bees live inside. We've blocked it off just so they don't go wandering, really. You don't need to block it off, but it just means that they'll go wandering somewhere else, and then, you know, you're going to want them back at some point. A couple of flowers in there. I've left a couple of gaps just so that they've got some room to move around, and we've got 3 high again, so we've got room to move around so that they're not going to get in the way of this. And like I say, it's very simple around here. Basically, we've just got the observer facing that way. We've got the nest, and then we've got the dispenser here. We've got a bit of redstone, and then obviously we've got a hopper going down and a chest. Now, I will explain to you how this all works and why you needed things in certain places. But as you can see, there are 3 bees in there. There's actually 6. Because inside the nest, or the hive, no, the nest, that's what it is. Inside the nest, there's actually another 3, and you can only have 3 in there at any time. And basically, all the bees come out, they go to the flowers, they pollinate the flowers, or they get pollen from the flowers, and then they go inside the nest. In there, they'll sit for, I don't know exactly how long, but a couple of minutes. And at that point, obviously, once they come out, that's then got honey inside to use. And the ones that come out then can start pollinating. We have 6 in there for that reason. So while 3 are in here, there's another 3 out here collecting pollen. So the second these come out, we can get the other ones back in. And here we go. They're switching over now. So one just came out, another one went straight back in. And as you can see, his bum there is all nice and clean. And, well, all of those are. So if we just watch those for a second, we should start to see. Wait for it. Try and get a good view. There we go. He's now got pollen on his back. Yeah, and him as well. And well, he hasn't yet, but he will do. So those two are ready to go back in. But obviously, if you just got 3, you've got 10, 20 seconds in between where you're not doing anything. So it makes sense to sort of have these ready to go back in. Now, there's nothing stopping you from putting more flowers in there, or indeed less. 1 flower is enough for all of them, because of the amount of time it takes them, obviously, inside there. 1 flower will be enough for them to actually all get pollinated before the others have come out. And obviously, you can use any flower, 2 high, 1 high, any one you want. That's absolutely fine. I've just gone for 2. I've gone for 2 wide because that takes up 2 spaces, so it's kind of flush. But also, really interrupted. If it's only 1 wide, I find that sometimes they get stuck in the glass and then they can actually break out. So this seems to work better. But yeah, let's just. I mean, I'm sure you can probably figure out from there. But let me show you how it works and how to make it, because some of it you just need to make them in a certain order. So let's just go through that now. So you're going to want to find a nice spot to build your honey farm in. You want to be far enough away from other beehives, because bee nests as well, because you don't want your bees trying to go to one of the other ones. You're also going to need all of these. So you're going to want, well, you can have as many chests as you want, at least 1 chest. I'm going to go for 2 just because of double. You're going to want 1 hopper, 1 dispenser, 1 observer, 1 bee's nest, 6 bees. Obviously I'm using eggs because I'm in creative. I'm going to use 2 flowers. As I say, you can use more, you can use less. 6 bits of grass, 6 blocks of grass, 3 redstone, and then a whole bunch of glass bottle. Oh, and 50 blocks. So I'm using glass in this case just so we can see through it, but you can use any solid block you really want. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. So let's begin. Okay, so you start off by placing the chest down. And then from there, you put a hopper going into it. We're going to take a couple of blocks here. So obviously, we're using glass. You can use other blocks, but if you're going to do it like this, you definitely want glass on this 1 block, or at least a half slab, so that or a block that can allow you to open the chest. Other than that, it really doesn't matter what you do. So put 1 there. Get out of the way, horse, and put another 1. Can you? There. Great. Then you're going to want to go and get your dispenser and place it just there. And you want to get the observer and place it facing that way. So the little red dot is facing towards you. Then you're going to want to get your bee's nest and come around this side facing this way. So this is the front. You've got to make sure this is out. All the other sides are clear. Let's just show you that. Every other side is just plain. But the front, that's where the bees go in and out. It has to face that way. Then you want to place 2 more blocks there and redstone just like that. And that is basically working. We can actually take all of our glass bottles and stick them in here now. Basically what you want to do is make sure there's no gaps. So if you get enough to fill it all, I haven't at the moment, but fill it all, or at least have 1 in each block. Otherwise it's going to start sucking them back inside. If these are all full, when the honey gets taken, it then goes into hopper and into chest. Otherwise, it gets sucked back inside to this. So that's very important. Okay, so then you're going to want to get the grass. And you don't have to have grass. You certainly need grass where the flower's going to grow, but it looks nice. So I'm doing it like that. And then 2 flowers like that. That is essentially that. Then you want to get your glass or block. So just do that, and just go all the way around like so. And then you want to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 3 there. Go up 3 all the way around like that. And don't need that one. And then on the top, we wanted a 4th one, but we don't need those ones there. So we just do that, and then that was exactly 50 blocks. So that is the basic shape of it, and that then will work. The final thing you have to do is then get your bees. Now, obviously, I'm cheating because I'm in survival. So I'm in creative, so I can just spawn them in. So it's a 6 there. Obviously, if you're in survival, you can always do the trick where you hold a flower, you can lure them in and then run out really quick, or you can put obviously on leads and then run out really quick. But I've just literally gone into spectator mode, flown in, and then I'm going to fly out in spectator mode again. So we can see here these are all starting to grab the pollen from the flower. Now obviously we've got 6 here at the moment because none of them have gone in there yet. As soon as some of these get enough pollen, they're going to jump in there, and we're going to just get this down to 3. So if we just hang around just a couple of seconds, we should see at least the first one going in. Now this, okay, well yeah, there's a guy gone already. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 2 of them in there. We could do one more, and then the other. Yeah, there we go. So those 3 are sitting there waiting to go, whereas those 3, they're waiting for their turn, and they're obviously getting pollinated. Now what sets this farm aside from other people's is the simplicity of it. Many other people, like say Dark M, Il Mango, they've done it different ways. They're using comparators, they're using composters, all sorts of different things, and it requires the hive or the nest to be full. So there's 5 stages, so every time a bee goes in there and he leaves, it then goes up a stage, and then it's up until once it gets to 5, then it's full, and that's ready to get collected. This doesn't work the same way. You don't need to have to wait until it fills up, because as soon as a bee goes out, then it's going to start working. Now I don't know if we can catch that on camera. We'll try and catch it now. I'll just do it, and then I'll probably trim and cut the video just there. So as you can see, these guys are all obviously ready to go back in. As soon as these 3 in here are finished, these guys are going to jump in, and we're going to see a switcheroo. So that shouldn't take very long now. They've been in there long enough. In 3, 2, 1. There we go. And as you can see, redstones are firing straight away. Now that's the first one, the second one as well. And we're already getting honey out. We don't need to wait for it to fill up. Third one, great. So 3. Now that is the biggest perk of this, because it's so simple. It really requires next to no skill or redstone or anything, and you don't need to mess around with putting composters and getting it so that once it reaches state 5, it's overcomplicating things. This is simple. This works, and this is perfect. I defy anyone to make a better one than this. I really don't think it's possible. And as I say, the biggest issue you're going to have with this is, because it's so quick, you're going to get to a point where you're not going to know what to do with all the honey, because you're going to eat it, but you ain't going to be losing that health quick enough. So you're going to be fighting to get the honey drank so you can fill these back up and go from there. But like I say, this is so much better than anything else I've seen so far. If anyone can come up with a better idea, by all means let me know. But I don't think we'll get much better than this, if I'm honest. But if you enjoyed this video, if you felt like you learnt something, please give it a big like and a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and obviously tell your friends about it too, because if you like it, there's a good chance they will too. But as always, I've been Geeky Gamer, you've been awesome, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.